Council meeting for the City of Lamar. I'm Mayor Kirk Crespin. We have a lot of items on our agenda tonight. Of course, it's great to have the new sunshine that's been over the last few weeks, but we have some cold weather coming up in the upcoming days, so please plan for that, prepare, and take steps as needed. So with that said, we're going to move on to our council meeting. Tonight we have invocation with Ray Matheson. Ray?
Our Father in heaven, we just come before you tonight, grateful, God, for the ways that you have blessed us. And Father, I thank you for these city leaders who devote their time and attention to making Lamar a better place and making hard decisions. God, I just pray that you would guide them tonight in their meeting, that you would grant them wisdom and understanding to make the right decisions. And God, that you'd always give them the courage to do what needs to be done as well. And that, Father, you would bless our area with whatever moisture is needed this week. God, we look forward to that. And Father, I just pray that you would continue to bless this community with some difficult things that have been going on, Father, that you would bless and help and bring comfort and strength where needed. We ask it all in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right, Anne-Marie Crampton, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Time is now 7:02 p.m. I'll call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Joe Gonzalez.
Here.
Mike Bellamy.
Here.
Jerry Jenkins.
Here.
Kirk Crespin.
Here.
Mike Duffy.
Here.
Manuel Temez.
Here.
Anne-Marie Crampton.
Here.
Rob Evans.
Present.
Kristen Schwartz.
Here.
Lance Clark.
Here.
Okay. First item is the consent agenda. I know we've had an opportunity to review that. I do have one item that was pointed out. The Board of Adjustment and Appeals minutes were in the consent agenda. We will be taking those out and removing them. They had an action on there, but they did not have a full quorum for their meeting. So they'll need to be sent back for reapproval of the minutes as well as the items that were on the agenda. Do we have anything else that needed to be separated out?
I didn't see anything.
Okay.
I move we approve the consent agenda less the Adjustment and Appeals Board minutes.
Okay.
A second.
So we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda minus the Board of Appeals, Adjustment and Appeals minutes. Any final questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify with an aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Joe and Jerry. Unanimous in favor of?
All right. Next item on the agenda is the City Treasurer's Report. Oh, no, sorry. On the consent agenda. Next item on the agenda is the public comment. During this portion of the meeting, anyone may speak on any subject that doesn't appear on the agenda. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each, and that is at the discretion of the council. Is there anyone here tonight that would like to speak to the council on an item that's not on the agenda? Okay. Seeing none, we will move on to the next item, which is reports and correspondence. First item is the City Treasurer's Report.
Thank you, Mayor. I have attached tonight the fourth quarter financials, the summary. I just wanted to point out that we're working on audit stuff, going to have the audit in March, so there will be some audit entries made. And so this is the pre-audited figures. If you've had a chance to renew it, I would answer, or review it, I would answer any questions that you had. Or if you had any comments.
Are there any questions or comments?
I don't have any at this time.
And then I just wanted to give a little update. on a couple of the grants that we've been working on. We did get the Colorado Parks and Wildlife grant for the shooting range submitted by February 1st. I had a lot of help from Logan from the Colorado Parks and Wildlife office. He was awesome. And we got it turned in and submitted, and I got confirmation that they had received it. It's a fairly lengthy review process on that one. So they're not looking to do awards until probably April of '24. I mean, that's how long the review process is. So, but it's a project that won't take long once we get that approval and we can get started. We expect to have it completed by the end of '24. So that was good to get that one submitted. I wanted to let you know that we had submitted our final pay request for the last project on the Inspire grant. We've been working on that one a really long time, so it was good
5
to
years?
get that submitted, and they approved it and said there wasn't anything further we needed to do. So I am in the process of working on getting everything in order to bring our request to you for approval to apply for our next GOCO grant, which is going to be out of their planning grants for the Parks and Rec master plan so that we can do it alongside our comprehensive plan. So I have a call in to our regional person. I'm waiting on a call back from her. I have to start with a visit with her and explain to her what our goals are with this project, get any advice from her, and then I'll be bringing that back to council for approval to apply for that one.
And will you be adding anything to it as far as for
That one
funding
is
on
strictly
other
for
items?
planning, so we can't add anything that I know of. I'll ask that question,
Yeah,
but
if you can at least
it's a
ask.
different category than the other grants that we've applied for. Generation Wild, and some of those are for the outdoor projects. This is strictly for planning. But I will visit with her and see what our options are there. They like us, we've pretty much completed all of the projects, and we're going to discuss that as well. So I will keep you posted on all of that with the GOCO grant. We did receive today, we got an email from DOLA. We received our executed grant agreement for the comprehensive plan. The start date on that one was backdated to February 2nd. So now we can begin the process, sit down as a team and decide what we need to do next, as far as going out for bids for a consultant and things like that. So we also want to work with the county on that. So we've got a lot of visiting to do before we get started on that, and some meetings that need to be had. We did complete the Washington Street project. It was substantially complete. I'm working on closing it out, working with JVA and Pat, working on closing out that grant. Master plan rate study grant is anticipated to, it closes March 31st, and we feel like you will have a completed document in your hands. You don't have to have a decision made on things by then, but their portion will be done, and they will have a completed document to you by that date. So we have a meeting on Friday, just another team meeting, and then they're going to present to you again on March 6th. We've sent that out to you as we're going to have a special work session that night
So
on the master
grant
plan.
ends on when again?
March 31st.
March 31st.
Yes,
So
sir.
will we have enough time to go back for another round if we had changes?
I think so.
Okay.
Yep.
That's in between council meetings. The 6th of March is in
Yeah,
between.
that's why we did it on that first meeting, so we could make, really all their job is to finish it and present it to you, and then you get to take the information and make decisions on it
Right.
at that point. So they're just giving you the tools to make the decision at that point. So the grant says we just have to have a completed master plan and rate study. So, and then you guys will be able to have more meetings if you need to together and make action plans from there. So that one's moving along on task and according to the schedule. And then Brownsfield, we've started work on it. AIRS is beginning the work on that. We're doing our public meeting Wednesday night from 6 to 8, and that's part of the grant process. That's one of the requirements. So Rob and I will be meeting, and I believe Stephanie will be meeting with them while they're here, having some other meetings with them on the side. So I'm working on those grant items. So I just wanted to update you on some of the grant things that we've been working on. So, do you have any questions? That's all I had then.
Okay. So the next item on the agenda is the city clerk's report. Linda?
Our January sales and use tax was $569,251.41, which was up 0.75% for the beginning of the year, or $4,243.82. And our year-to-date was, of course, the same. So we started off the year in a positive. That's all I have.
Okay. Any questions for the city clerk?
I don't have any.
All right. Seeing none, we'll move on to the city administrator's report. Rob?
Yes, sir. I get to announce the most, is mine on? I get to announce the most important one. Make sure everybody remembers they still have a day, and that's, it's Valentine's Day tomorrow. Make sure you don't forget, all right? That's one of those things that I have experience on missing that day, and I don't wish that on anybody else. So please don't forget. Coffee with Rob, depending on the weather, I guess, make sure you can come see me on Wednesday at Daylight Donuts or the following week at Brew Unto Others. But if Daylight is open, I will be there. And if anybody shows up, if the weather is bad, I'll even buy donuts then too. So you guys can come in and have coffee and donuts with Rob. City offices are going to be closed on the 20th of February, President's Day. We also have the Rural Action Project. It's conversations, actions, plus actions equals a growing community. And so we have a flyer out there, and we'll put it on all of our social media sites. But it's February 21st, 28th, and March 7th at the Vaquero Building.
Can I just?
Yeah.
I think they've moved that. It's
They
now
have?
the LCC library.
Well, then it's at the LCC Library on February 21st, 28th, and March 7th.
Yeah, when I made reservations, that's kind of where they put me to go.
In the library.
Okay.
Okay.
Good deal. We have a city council work session, as we previously mentioned, on Monday, March the 6th, and that's where they're going to prevent the next draft of the
The rate study.
rate study.
Yes.
Some projects, the self-serve fuel is scheduled to go in next week, so we've got all the parts and pieces, and we're supposed to be, and it should be implemented next week. I'll let you know on the success of that one, but that's what it's scheduled, depending on, weather related, but we've had to do some prep work because of regulations about keeping it above ground. Some of the parts above ground, we figured out how to put a grate in, and so I think they're all ready to get us, moving forward and actually have that going. I did have a request for, it's going to be related to one of our later items about an extended warranty on the repairs that we had done at the community building, and yes, there is. $1,200 to $1,500. They have quite a few different extended warranties, and one of them is you get priority. If there's people in there, everybody gets a warranty, but we go to you first if you call. So that's one of the options that we can. And so if you guys want me to give options to that, I can do that. But I think I was planning on handling that one. We need to have priority for that one.
Okay.
And if you had any other questions, I'm here to answer or go get the information for you.
Well, I was going to ask about the sidewalks on Main Street. I know they're getting pretty substantially done on the east side. Where are we at with that grant and that planning and all of that? I
We are
haven't heard
going,
anything.
we're going out for bid.
Okay.
We got approved for that, and now we're going out for bid. The bids are due back, I believe, like the 22nd.
Okay.
Is that a Tuesday? And we had a pre-bid meeting this last week. We had 2 bidders show up, had some good questions. They walked it with Stephanie. So we're getting that together, and we'll have bids due back by the 22nd. We'll open them on the morning of the 23rd, and then we'll be reviewing those and bringing them to council. Pat's been helping us, Rob's been helping us. We're going to have to probably have some city in-kind and things like that. So that one is moving forward. We had called for
Now,
bids.
is that just for the one side or for both?
Just east. We have not been
Not
awarded
getting
the
anything.
west side yet.
Okay. Because I knew I'd sent over that email today about the TAP grants, and I don't know if that's the similar one or if that's different.
That's a little bit different. That's a different program, but.
Or if we could use those funds for
Right.
that.
We have an application in. They had to wait till this round opened up. the new round for the west side. And I haven't gotten any updates. I requested one last week, and I haven't gotten an answer from CDOT yet. So I'll stay on that and get an answer on what we need to do to follow up with that one.
Okay.
So that one and the one that to finish up the work at the Pocket Park, we're working on both of them. So.
Okay.
And we're also, I guess I forgot one too, we're moving forward with the Safer Streets, and that was the lighting for the parks. Kyle and I had to attend a training this last week for just the grant process itself. We had already submitted a bid and everything for that one. We only had one bidder on it. So it had to be submitted already, and they've approved it. Kyle had to make one more submission today, so we're moving forward with that one as well. So, sorry. didn't mean to take your-
Okay. All right, any other questions for the city administrator? Seeing none, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda. Item number 2. Oh, number 1. So item number 1 is consider approval of Lamar Day's annual car show request. This is initiated or introduced by Ron Cook and City Administrator Robert Evans. Looks like Ron is here tonight to speak to us. Ron?
Good evening, Mayor, City Councilman. My name is Ron Cook. We are promoting Lamar Days Rod Run, 27th annual Lamar Days Rod Run. The 19th will start at the Chamber of Commerce at lunch we're going to cook hamburgers. Welcome to Lamar luncheon for that day. That evening we'll start at the Sonic Drive-In. Thankful for the police department and the fire department for helping us with the No Booze Cruise. It attracts a lot of people. It's a very good evening. Everybody pray for, I know we need moisture, but that is one night we don't need moisture. So it's pretty scary. So on the 20th, we will start in the park. Early in the morning, I know there's a lot of events prior to our event on that morning. Lamar Rotary Ducky Dash will be in the park again in conjunction with us. We have a lot of people saying they're coming. We're usually attracting 5 from 5 states. It's been a very good turnout of motorcycles and cars. Anybody that would like to participate. So usually vendor booths. That is in conjunction with the Chamber of Commerce. I believe we had 28 vendor booths last year.
Good.
We're promoting that very strongly.
So this request is for the use of the Willow Creek Park during the whole event,
Yes, and
as well as the overnight parking on Friday night.
we'd like to have overnight parking on Friday night. There may be 1 or 2 vendors that would like to just set their trailers in there Friday evening so they don't have to worry about it Saturday morning. I hope they don't, but, you know, usually if they come in 10 or 11 o'clock at night, they set their trailer, they start getting set up, and then they're usually in the wrong position. So we're trying to make sure through the chamber, we let all vendors know. We really want them to set up at 5:30, 6 o'clock on Saturday morning.
Okay. All right, any questions from the council or discussion?
I don't have any.
I have to admit too, there is, right now we have 30 vendors that are supporting this.
Wow.
That is citizens of Lamar, Colorado, that is family members from Eaton, Colorado, Woodward, Oklahoma, Pueblo West. I mean, we have a number of people promoting this. They all give me a stipend to help this, so it is a community event.
Okay. All right, what would the council like to do?
I make a motion, we approve.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. Any final questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Just didn't go through.
Mine didn't.
Joe.
Joe?
Unanimous in favor of?
I want to thank you very much, and I'm telling you, Parks and Rec, everybody needs commended. I mean, we get nothing but compliments from people coming to our community of how they're treated in this community and how well the park and our facilities look.
Hey, Ron, just so you know, me coming into the town last year and getting to see that right there, that was one of the great things about coming here and getting to see that type of atmosphere. And it was great. I had family coming up to visit that week, and we really enjoyed it, so thank you very much.
Appreciate that. It's a very enjoyable weekend. And Ducky Dash tickets will be out very
Oh.
soon. You will be hit up.
That was fun, too. Are you going to do it again this year? Yeah.
Sometimes Emery likes to swim.
Yes, I've been known to swim, bond with them.
Okay, next item on the agenda is to approve or consider approval of proclamation number 23-01, which is a proclamation of the City of Lamar designating the week of February 18th through the 25th, 2023 as National FFA Week. Looks like we have some representatives from Lamar High School's FFA here. If you'd like to come up for a second.
Come on up to the
Come
podium.
on up to the podium.
No.
Did you want to say anything about what your plans are for National FFA Week or what it's about?
Future
Put you on
public
the spot.
speakers?
National FFA Week is obviously a national celebration for all FFA chapters throughout the country. We host several different functions within the school that week. We're gonna do we have annual labor auction dinner that we put on. It's our biggest fundraiser of the year, we do that. It's just, like I said, a big celebration of what these kids do all the time and a celebration of agriculture. Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming tonight to represent FFA. So thank
Yeah.
you very much. So what I can do is read the proclamation and then let the council vote. All right, so I'll go through and read it for you. Whereas FFA in agricultural education provides a strong foundation for the youth of America in the future of food, fiber, and natural resource systems. And whereas FFA promotes premier leadership, personal growth, and career success among its members. And whereas agricultural education and FFA ensure a steady supply of young professionals to meet the growing needs of science, business, and technology of agriculture. And whereas the FFA motto, learning to do, doing to learn, earning to live, living to serve, gives direction and purpose to these students who take an active role in succeeding in agricultural education. And whereas FFA promotes citizenship, volunteerism, patriotism, and cooperation. Council, do we have a motion to approve this proclamation?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Thank you, Ben.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay. I'll come up here with you guys. Sign your proclamation. Whereas, so therefore, I do hereby designate the week of February 18th through the 25th, 2023 as National FFA Week. It's today, 13. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Good luck on your week.
Thank you.
Sir?
Council, want to add anything before we move to the next item? Okay, seeing none. Thanks again for attending tonight. The next item on the agenda is appointment to the Water Advisory Board.
Yes, sir. This is another, an annual, we had one of the positions term, came to term, and so they advised, we had one application, they advised that Mr. Newhold be reappointed.
Okay.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Right, we have a motion and a second for Daniel Newhold to be reappointed. Any final questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay. Next item on the agenda is to award bid 42-016 for League Programs T-shirts. This is initiated by Kristen Schwartz and Kendra Cope. Kristen, would you like to speak on this?
Yes, I would be glad to. We went out for bid. It was advertised in the paper on December 8. We have a annual T-shirt bid for the leagues and programs, all of the T-shirts for the adults and kids in that program through our Parks and Rec. We received bids by 5 o'clock on January 10th. We received 2 bids. We opened them on the morning of January 11th. And staff is recommending that we award the annual bid to Mr. D Sports. They were considerably lower than the other competitor.
Okay,
I'll make that motion.
Considerably.
Go with.
Second.
so we have a motion and a second. Are there any questions or discussion?
I'd like to make a comment. I picked up my shirt today from the community building for the Polar Bear bike ride that we had on January 1st. Nice,
Did a good job.
very good.
Yes.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Are there any other final questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
All right. Next item is to schedule a public hearing for the transfer of ownership fermented malt beverage off-premise liquor license to UPOP Holdings LLC, DBA JR's Country Stores. This is initiated by our city clerk, Linda.
So we received application from UPOP Holdings, who bought 6 of the JR's Country Stores. This particular public hearing is for JR's Country Store. And it's just, they're requesting to do a transfer of ownership. We're not required to hold a public hearing, but council has in the past requested public hearings, so I'm asking to schedule it for February 27th of 2023 at 7 PM or as close there as possible.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
Are they currently, so whose license are they currently running under to sell alcohol?
They run under JR's until the transfer of ownership goes through. That's approved through the state.
And I can identify to that because I work with JR's Country Stores and they've had a easy transition. JR's is working with that transition, so.
Okay. All right, any other final questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Moving right along, we also have the scheduling a public hearing for transfer of ownership hotel restaurant liquor license for UPOP Holdings LLC, DBA JR's Country Store, Hickory House. So this is very similar, it's just this is on the restaurant side rather than the convenience store side, is that correct?
That would be correct.
Linda? Go ahead.
And exactly the same, they turned in their application for transfer of ownership. We're gonna hold the public hearing, if approved for the scheduling following the JR's Country Store, again on February 27th, as close to 7 PM as possible.
Okay,
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Are there any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
All right, item number 7, proposed agreement for law enforcement services, law enforcement and security services. This is initiated by Chief Miller. Chief?
Good evening. This is the contract we do with the school district to do all their extracurricular activities, dances, football games, any other time they request us. This is good for a year. The only difference this year is the dates, and it went up to the $45 an hour as per the rates and fee schedule.
Okay. And have you had a chance to look over the agreement?
I've reviewed it. I don't have any issue with it.
Okay.
Move we approve the agreement.
A second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Next item on the agenda is the Colorado Pet Overpopulation Fund Grant. This was also initiated by Chief Miller, so I'll let you continue.
This is to allow us to be in compliance with PACTA standards in order for us to adopt animals out. We have to spay and neuter dogs before they are transferred ownership. This does not cover the entire cost, but it's the vast majority of it. We're asking for $8,500 for spay and neuter and $4,000 for emergency veterinary care this year. So we're asking for a total of $12,500. And this is just the application for the grant.
Okay.
Is that the limit that we can apply for?
No, but we have to base it on a number. We did about 90 dogs last year transferred out. So we have to, I'd love to shoot for the stars, but we have to justify the amount of money we're requesting.
Okay.
Has the animal shelter ever put in the future to try and gather information to start chipping these animals?
We have that
For owners?
ability. We did some last year, I believe it was, in the grant, and it wasn't utilized much. We have chip readers, so if somebody does have the dog chipped, we can read it
Okay.
and see where it belongs.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay.
I move we approve the animal shelter manager to apply for the grant.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Thank you.
Thank you. Right. Agenda number 9, item number 9 is 1205 South Main Street, possible in-kind work. This is initiated by Stephanie Stroop and our city administrator. Looks like we have the visitor, Bill Becker, the owner of the property, would like to speak to us tonight.
So what I'm asking for is kind of where we left off last year. We were waiting for construction to kind of get done. So we're asking for the city to help out with excavation, and hopefully we can get some barricades as well. So those two things, excavation and barricades. We would find a contractor to place the concrete and wait for it to cure, and we'd give the barricades back. So hopefully that's something you guys can consider.
Okay, so the barricades would only be temporary until the concrete is complete.
Yeah, I don't have enough cones.
All right.
I've already discussed this with Pat, and we can accommodate this one.
What kind of money are we looking at to remove approximately 3,000 square foot?
He told me in hours, and it wouldn't be more than a day of work, he said, so.
Okay. For how many men?
2 and some equipment. It might be 3 because you want safety, but it wouldn't be more than 2 or 3 people.
Safe to say 1,500?
Yeah, they wouldn't remove any material from the site. So basically, it would stay on site. I'm going to donate it to an excavation company that has a location behind Family Dollar.
Oh, so they're going to build it up into a pile on your property?
Basically, they're going to scrape out what needs to be scraped out, make a pile. I'll fill that hole with concrete, and the other company, Kerrigan, will come and get it, take it away.
Okay. As long as it doesn't create more problems for you or somebody else, that big pile there.
No, but thank you, yeah.
All right. Well, the building looks great. You've done a great job on the remodel, and it's definitely an improvement. I'm sure it'll be more of an improvement when the construction
Gets
is done. And everybody can see it. But, council, what would you like to do?
I'd like to make a motion to help them out with the in-kind work.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to assist with the in-kind. Any final questions?
I have one.
Mhm.
Is the store open every day now?
Every day.
What's our hours?
She's in there probably 9 to sometimes 6 at night, but mostly 9 to 5.
It's Monday through Friday? or-
Saturdays we're open as well. And then we have another employee that's starting soon. She's waiting for state board to get paid.
Perfect.
So,
Okay, great.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank
All right, all those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
All right, and thank you for coming tonight. Okay, next item on the agenda, motion to ratify the approval of a contract with Train for the purchase of the Train SC module and support. This was initiated by City Administrator Evans. Rob, would you like to speak on this?
Yes. This is in the phone poll that was conducted in reference to a decision at the time was a health and safety decision made. It was freezing in the community building, and we needed to get heat back to the, so we didn't freeze all of our citizens, and we were able to do some of the activities that were scheduled in there. A few years ago, Honeywell and the contract went out because of the costs associated, and we're still looking to get some type of long-term contract. And we were actually in the process of getting bids for these, and some of them were some outrageous numbers, so we hadn't made a choice yet, and sure enough, that was whenever it bit us. So it was down and we needed to get it fixed. We had the money in our maintenance budget, but because of this type of situation, we needed you guys to go ahead and ratify it.
Okay.
You definitely don't want to be a council member at a basketball game when the heat's off.
No. I mean, yeah, I bet not. Okay. Any questions for the city administrator?
I have one more about the warranty. How long do we have to decide if we're going to procure these warranties?
A year.
Or what we're going to, I mean, is there a time frame, or do we have to do it by the time of the purchase date?
No, they told us actually we'd never run out as long as it's there. It would change how much it would cost on what type of warranty you wanted. And you could pay the premium for first choice, first service. So we don't have a time limit, but we should, if we want to get the current prices, we got it 1 year.
Okay. Perfect.
All right, any other questions?
Move to ratify the approval of the contract.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay, agenda item number 11. Approve agreement with BC Service for collection services for billing, ambulance billing. It's initiated by our city treasurer, Kristen Schwartz. Kristen?
Yes, first of all, I want to apologize for my typo. The action proposed has the wrong agreement in there. So just wanted to apologize for that. We did send out a corrected one to council. So what this is we contracted back with Griffin RMC back in October to do our ambulance billing. They don't do in-house collections as far as, if they don't pay within 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, things like that. So they recommended this company. They used them and have used them quite a bit. So we got a proposal from them and checked their rates and services against Wakefield, who we've used in the past. This company comes with really good reviews. The billing company is used to working with them. Information flows quickly. They have had good results with the collections, and they're also quite a bit cheaper as far as what they charge us for collecting than Wakefield was. So it is our recommendation that we choose this BC Services for the collection services for ambulance billing only.
Okay, so we really didn't go out for bid on this agreement. We're just going by the recommendations.
That's true, because they have a working relationship with them, we were very interested in them and the success, and we made phone calls. Michelle checked references, and they have raving reviews. So we've used Wakefield in the past. We used Wakefield for utility billing.
Yeah, for utility billing,
so-
ARs.
We wanted to compare with what we already had, and with them being cheaper and with this company already having a working relationship with them, we just felt like it was in our best interest. They're used to doing ambulance billing, so we felt like we would get the most benefit from going with BC.
So what percentage do they take?
22. And Wakefield is 37.
What's the, if we're doing this for the EMS and we said we've used Wakefield for utility billing, what's the chances of bringing it all together under one?
No, I suppose it would be something we could look at. We have so many accounts established with Wakefield right now. There'd be a transition period if we decided to make a change, but it would be worth looking into, I suppose. Thank you, that was a good comment.
Yeah, and I guess I was wondering about that along the lines of if they were similar people that were past due in collections, if it was the same with utilities as with the ambulance, if that would make it easier to collect upon rather than having two separate. But I don't know if that would make a difference.
I think they would keep them separate anyway. It would be
Well,
separate
the
accounts.
accounts, but I mean, as far as the billing of the same company,
Yeah.
rather than two different companies, two different law firms.
Yeah. Two different expenses.
Yeah.
We've always had the ambulance separate. It's never been part of the other, or it hasn't for a long time anyway. Ever since we went with the EMS billing, we weren't happy with their collections. They did not do a good job for us.
Do we have a current contract in place with them, or is it
No,
just?
it ended with our EMS contract.
Okay, what's the council's pleasure?
I make a motion. We approve the agreement and allow the mayor to sign both agreements. As
Second.
presented.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any final questions?
And I've reviewed the contracts, I have no issues with them. The 3-year agreement, that there's no payment unless they capitalize and are able to receive something from the debt collection, so.
Okay,
And he added the addendum for the Tabor language as well. You'll see that in your packet. We're covered with that. He's got that.
okay. Any other questions? All those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Joe. Joe. Unanimous in favor of?
Okay. Item number 12, resolution number 23-02-01, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Lamar, Colorado, providing for the operation and use of Lamar Community Resource and Senior Center. It's initiated by Rob Evans. Rob?
Yes, sir. In conjunction with those at the senior center, we updated the days, the operation, the resolution to the rental charges to, coincide with our rates and fees. So, Al, do you want to say something?
But I don't need a mic. We just think, we've had a little transition, and I'll be honest, nothing's changed. Nothing's ever had been hold. We still had some rentals. Unfortunately, one of the rentals was canceled. Something happened and they had to cancel out. So the phone service that I came in, because there's one thing we're looking at, internet. Our copier is through Goldman's, we bought locally, and they monitor our copier for us. Well, where we had it wasn't a secure place, it was a place that was just open. And so we moved it into the office until it was still vacant, for taking advantage of it, locked it up. Well, we went to hook everything up and it's not reading, so your
Our IT is going to.
IT guy's gonna check. I think what happened is when the tax was in there, their internet was different, so now your IT guy, he'll come down and connect it so that the internet's, we know we got it, we know the city's paying the bill for it. Kirsten made sure I knew that today when I stopped and talked to her. She
No.
Real considered I'm pretty illiterate when it comes to things like that. Sam Marie knows out of the college, he knows out there. So everything's running smooth, building is getting rented. We had the Snow Goose, this is last week, oh gosh, they were so impressed with the facility. So everything's working good. The only thing that happened is we had a TV antenna that over the years, the wind, it got down when it did, it broke, it pulled off the frame. But Charles, or Charlie as I call him, he climbed up, he said that we're gonna get another antenna and won't have any trouble getting this that way. Because there's TVs in about every room now.
Okay.
We got access to TV. And there is one through the cable deal, which we've got access to it. And just talking to Kirsten, we were always told the TV was free. And Kirsten says
I
they
was
didn't have
wrong.
to pay it.
No, I was wrong.
Was it?
Yes, and I tried to call you
So we're
today, so
deciding, we
it's.
had trouble, when that TV's hooked up, we've always had trouble. It's usually been the same gentleman every time. He's been banned a couple times, we're here for the seniors, so get back in. But we haven't hooked it back up yet. When the tax moved out, it was transferred to the office there, and we haven't transferred it back. We met today as a board, and most of my board members, they're not so sure they want to hook it up. But you know, it is
Okay,
free.
it's there, yep.
What we were thinking is we can run a regular antenna to it off of Carlton down here. That way you don't have as many channels. That's what usually happens is with the internet and with Spectrum, you got all these channels and this one guy would dominate it. And of course, then we get little arguments, somebody wanted to watch this and he was watching that.
Sounds like my
I mean, it's kind of like at home when you got your kids fighting over the games.
Yeah.
But everything's working nice, and we, as a board, we just want to appreciate all you've done for us and helped us. Like I said, nothing's really changed. The one thing we're kind of waiting, age on airing, Mr. Collins,
Yeah.
he says they got the money, and hopefully instead of that little dry erase board, we're going to have a nice TV screen that shows all the activities. But we're waiting, Jim hasn't got back to us. But basically, speaking for the board, we want to thank you. You guys don't get praise. You know, it's been wonderful. And, well, my hat's off to Charlie, or Charles, whatever he goes by that. What a fabulous guy. And he's there all the time. Margaret, I'm sure glad we kept her. I mean, that building is spotless. That building is spotless. So from the board, mainly just thanks. And if there's anything, I know Kirsten asked for an inventory because of the facilities inside tables. I stopped, checked, we got it, we'll get it to you.
You're
Kirsten, so
fine,
you
yep.
know.
I just want to make sure your stuff's being taken
Everything.
care of.
It's just, I don't know how many times I can say, you know, just thank you every year. The seniors, board appreciated, but mainly the seniors. Because we're getting more and more, people are starting to come out, and word's getting out. I think a lot of it, that all they realize, oh, that's a senior, that's what that all is.
Yeah.
We're getting more and more, we're getting our pool shooters back. Went from none, to we have about 8 people come down there and shoot pool, and so it's just great. We appreciate everything.
Okay, well, that's great. Great to hear. I was wondering how it was going with the transition, so.
It's going good.
It's great to hear that it's going well. Hopefully, it just continues to improve.
We need to support our seniors in
Yes.
this community, of which I'm fairly new at that myself. but-
All right, council, what would you like to do?
I have a question here on upon the application, the Lamar Senior Citizen may waive fees and charges. Do they have to submit a proposal to city administrator or something?
Which one is this?
It'd be in item 4, I guess it's 4.
Right above number 5, facility uses and guidelines.
Yep.
Upon application for
Oh,
rental?
yeah, they would have to come to me. They would have to come to me to ask for any type of waiver. They haven't come for anything yet, though.
And we can do that on any events, whether it's the city, community building, or,
I just wanted to make sure they was aware where they needed to go to.
okay,
Good point.
great. Okay, any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify with an eye. Or did we get a motion? I think we did. No, we have not.
I'll make that, I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Now, all those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
All right, thank you very much. Okay. Agenda item number 13, resolution number 23-02-02, a resolution declaring the City of Lamar's decision to implement financial guidelines and reporting in accordance with the Governmental Accounting Standards Board, GASB, is that how we say that? Number 87, for certain contracts entered into with the City of Lamar. This is initiated by Kristen Swartz. Kristen?
Hi, I'll explain this the best I can. So, GASB is the Governmental Accounting Standards Board who sets how we do our financial statements, how we present them. So we're on this one's rule number 87. I think we're up to 95 or 6 now. So they just add to every year things that they want to see presented differently. What their goal is to have governmental financial statements be easy to read or similar to read like a public business financial statement. So they keep implementing all of this. And what it does is affects our audit and how it needs to be presented. So this GASB 87 was all about leases and how they have to be presented, how they have to be accounted for, how we have to capitalize for them. So as we've worked our way through it since 17, things have came up. And it's all leases, the way it reads, unless your governing body sets a threshold. It's kind of like how we set a $5,000 threshold. We don't depreciate anything unless it's $5,000 or over. Well, the leases is sort of the same way. We need to set a threshold so that we're not having to capitalize copiers and things like that. So the auditor sat Lisa and I down while he was here on his interim audit a few weeks ago and said, you know, it would be his recommendation to bring a resolution to council and have you consider passing it and set that threshold of anything less than $500 a month. If a lease costs us $500 or less, we don't have to capitalize it. So I don't have to track them as close. I don't have to put that on our books as a purchase that first year like you do some of them. So it just is sort of a housekeeping matter mostly. It cuts back on some of the work and the length of the audit, length of the financial statement. So what I'm asking you to do tonight is approve this resolution, which in summary sets a threshold on leases. Anything $500 or less is just considered a financial lease and not a capital lease. So that's what I'm asking in this resolution.
It says that it would be effective January 1, 2022?
Yes, he asked us to backdate it like that, and I've checked with other cities through my finance serve list in CML, and that's what they're doing as well, so that we can get that all in this audit. So it needed to start January 1 to December, so we backdated it to make it effective January 1, so it picks up, because we would have had to account for all those leases this year anyway. So he wanted it to be effective January 1 so we can get the whole audit year under this resolution.
In 2022?
In 2022, yes.
Okay.
Did I say 23?
No.
Oh, okay. 22, yes, because that's the audit we're working on right now.
Okay.
And I make a motion to approve?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. Any final questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay. Next item is miscellaneous. Do we have any miscellaneous items we need to go over? The only thing I'd like to mention is that, you know, Rob has done a really good job as far as his Coffee with Rob and doing that every Wednesday so that everybody can meet with the city administrator. I don't know, you've had a few people show up every so often.
Yeah.
This past week, we started with the Coffee with the Council, is what we ended up, I guess, calling that for now. And we had Coffee with the Council, which was last Wednesday, the first Wednesday of each month. We'll be having that at the Cultural Events Center. It gives the community and anybody in the community or in the area who would like to come in and visit with the council on a one-on-one basis, have coffee, you know, a cup cookie or something of that sort.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you know, we had one person show up from the community this past meeting. But we changed this because there was questions on, it was always changing, where is it at? But this time, we're going to do it for this year at a consistent location, which is at the Cultural Event Center every month on the first Wednesday of each month. So that should give a definite date and time for the next 11 months, 10 months, for everybody who would like to come and visit with the council to attend. Again, that's every first Wednesday of each month at 7 a.m. at the Cultural Event Center for the council, Coffee with the Council.
I had a
It
couple.
was actually called Common Grounds.
Common Grounds.
Yeah, that we came up with.
Yep, Common Grounds.
Common Grounds. It was actually fairly interesting and, I wouldn't say entertaining, but engaging, the topics and everything that we did talk about, though. So that was more of a useful type meeting that we've had in a while.
Now, the other thing that we did was we highlighted a certain department this past month or this week. What we highlighted was our city administration staff, which included the city treasurer and her staff, city clerk and her staff, as well as the city administrator and his staff. Next month, have we determined who that would be?
It's going to be Public Works.
Public Works Department. So next month, we'll be highlighting the Public Works Department. We'll be inviting some of the staff in that can attend. And if you have questions, comments concerning Public Works, you're welcome to attend and ask those questions as well.
If I might add, I think this is an opportunity for the citizens of Lamar to see and meet the staff that work hard to keep our city going. A lot of behind-the-scenes people.
I
Okay?
have something else I'd like to add, but it's on a different note.
Okay?
I would like to offer our deepest condolences on behalf of the city of Lamar to the Orozco family.
Yes.
For they had suffered a great loss and tragedy in their family, to Eloy Orozco. That was a sad loss. And
The
our
Orozco
deepest
family and
condolences.
the Orozco family and the Osmus family.
I'm sorry?
The Osmus family as well.
Okay.
Because
I'm sorry, no disrespect if I didn't mention your name. That's the one that I knew, and keep them in our thoughts and our prayers, their families.
Amen.
Okay.
I would also like to send condolences to Roger Stagner and Leslie on the loss of Leslie's dad,
I wasn't aware of that.
I
donator.
was not aware.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other miscellaneous items? Seeing none, the next item on the agenda, we have an executive session, 2 executive sessions. One for the discussion of personnel matters with the city administrator under CRS section 246402, subsection 4, subsection F. And number 2's executive session would be for the purposes of determining positions relative to matters that may be subject to negotiations, developing a strategy for negotiations, and/or instructing negotiators under CRS section 246402, subsection 4, subsection E regarding economic negotiations. There will not be any decisions coming out of the executive session, so there will be no need to return or stay. We will be ending the broadcast at this point after we move into executive session.
Did you want to ask if there were any comments from the?
Do we have any miscellaneous? I forgot. Any miscellaneous from the web or questions that we needed to ask? All right. So with that said, we would need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion to move into executive session. We have a motion and a second. Any final questions? All those in favor signify with an eye.
I
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
With that said, we'll move into our executive session. We appreciate you attending tonight and watching our live broadcast, and we hope to see you the next time. Thank you.